Hello YouTube, this is Said Mirza. Today's video is a compilation of verses from the Quran regarding the last day. All translations are from the Quran, a complete revelation by Sam Gerrans. And be in prudent fear of the day, no soul will avail a soul anything, nor will intercession be accepted from it, nor will compensation be taken from it, nor will they be helped. Chapter 2 verse 48. Await they save that God and the angels should come to them in the shadows of the clouds, and the matter be settled, and unto God are matters referred. Chapter 2, verse 210. And if thou couldst see when they are set before the fire, and say, would that we were sent back, we would not repudiate the proofs of our Lord, but would be among the believers. Chapter 6, verse 27. And if thou couldst see when they are set before their Lord, he will say, is then this not the truth? They will say, verily, by our Lord. He will say, then taste the punishment for what you denied. They have lost who repudiate the meeting with God. When the hour has come upon them unexpectedly, they will say, oh, I regret that we neglected it, and they will bear their burdens upon their backs. In truth, evil is what they will bear. Chapter 6, verses 30 and 31. That which you are promised is coming, and you cannot escape. Chapter 6, verse 134. Await they save that the angels should come to them, or thy Lord should come, or there come some of the proofs of thy Lord. The day there come some of the proofs of thy Lord, the faith of a soul will benefit nothing which has not believed before, nor by its faith earned good. Say thou, wait, we are waiting. Chapter 6, verse 158. They ask thee about the hour. When is its arrival? Say thou, knowledge thereof is but with my Lord. None reveals its time save He. It weighs heavily in the heavens and the earth. It comes not upon you save unexpectedly. They question thee as though thou wert privy thereto. Say thou, knowledge thereof is but with God, but most men know not. Chapter 7, verse 187. And the day he gathers them will be as though they had tarried only an hour of the day. They will recognize one another. Those will have lost who repudiated the meeting with God, and they were not rightly guided. Chapter 10, verse 45. And think thou not that God is unmindful of what the wrongdoers do. He but grants them respite until a day wherein the eyes will stare, straining forward, their heads uplifted, unable to look away, and their hearts void. And warn thou mankind of the day the punishment will come upon them, and those who do wrong will say, our Lord, delay thou us a little while. We will respond to thy call and follow the messengers. Did you not swear before that there would be no end for you? And you dwelt in the dwellings of those who wronged their souls, and it was made clear to you how we dealt with them, and we presented examples to you. Chapter 14, verses 42 to 45. And to God belongs the unseen of the heavens and the earth, and the matter of the hour is only as the twinkling of an eye, or nearer. God is powerful over all things. Chapter 16, verse 77. And the day we raise up from every community a witness, then no leave will be given to those who are indifferent to warning, nor will they be allowed to make amends. And when those who do wrong behold the punishment, it will not be lightened for them, nor will they be granted respite. Chapter 16, verses 84 and 85. The day every soul comes pleading for itself, and every soul is repaid in full for what it did, and they will not be wronged. Chapter 16, verse 111. And the day we set in motion the mountains, and thou seest the earth emerge, and regather them, then will we not leave out one of them. And they will be set before thy Lord in ranks. You have come to us as we created you the first time, yet you claim that we made no appointment for you. And the law will be set down, and thou wilt see the evildoers apprehensive of what is therein. And they will say, woe is us! What law is that leaves out neither a small thing nor a great thing, save has taken it into account? And they will find what they did present, and thy Lord wrongs no one. Chapter 18, verses 47 to 49. And the parties among them differed. Woe to those who are indifferent to warning from the spectacle of a tremendous day. How they hear and how they see on the day they come to us. But the wrongdoers are this day in obvious error. And warn thou them of the day of regret, when the matter is concluded, but they are in heedlessness, and they do not believe. Chapter 19, verse 37 to 39. The hour is coming, I almost hide it, that every soul should be rewarded for what it strives for. And let not divert thee from it who believes not in it, but follows his vain desire, lest thou perish. Chapter 20, verses 15 and 16. That day will they follow the summoner, having no deviation, and the voices will be humbled for the Almighty, and thou wilt hear not save a whisper. Chapter 20, verse 108. And had we destroyed them by a punishment before it, they would have said, Our Lord, oh, that thou hadst but sent to us a messenger, so we might have followed thy proofs before we were humbled and disgraced. Chapter 20, verse 134. Nigh to men draws their reckoning, and they are in heedlessness disinclined. Chapter 21, verse 1. If those who are indifferent to warning but knew the time, they will not be able to hold back the fire from their faces and from their backs, and they will not be helped. But it will come on upon them unexpectedly and render them speechless, and they will be unable to repel it, nor will they be granted respite. Chapter 21, verses 39 and 40. And the true promise draws nigh, then will the truth be known. And when the eyes of those who are indifferent to warning stare, Woe is us! We had been in heedlessness of this. The truth is, we were wrongdoers. Chapter 21, verse 97. O mankind, be in prudent fear of your Lord. The convulsion of the hour is a tremendous thing. The day you see it, every nursing mother will neglect what she suckles, and everyone bearing will deliver her burden. And thou wilt see mankind intoxicated, yet not intoxicated. But the punishment of God is severe. Chapter 22, verses 1 and 2. And the hour is coming, there is no doubt thereof, and God will raise those in the graves. Chapter 22, verse 7. When death has come to one of them, he says, My Lord, send thou me back, that I might work righteousness in what I left behind. No, indeed, it was but a word that he said, and behind them is a barrier until the day they are raised. Chapter 23, verses 19 and 100. The truth is, they have rejected the hour, and for him who rejects the hour have we prepared an inferno. When it sees them from a place far away, they hear the fury and the moaning thereof, and when they are cast into a constricted place thereof, bound together, they call thereupon for destruction. Call not this day for one destruction, but call for many destructions. Chapter 25, verses 11 to 14. And the day the trumpet will be blown, whoso is in the heavens and the earth will be in terror, save who God wills, and all will come to him abased. Chapter 27, verse 87. And were God to take mankind to task for what they earn, he would not leave a living creature upon its surface, but he delays them to a named term. Then when their term comes, God is beholder of his servants. Chapter 35, verse 45. They await only one blast, which will take them while they are disputing. They will not be able to make a bequest or return to their people, and the trumpet will be blown. And then from the graves will they hasten to their Lord, saying, Woe is us! Who has raised us from our places of rest? This is what the Almighty promised, and the emissaries spoke truth. Chapter 36, verses 49 to 52. Will have a canopy of fire above them, and beneath them a canopy. By that does God put his servants in dread. O my servants, be in prudent fear of me. Chapter 39, verse 16. And warn thou them of the approaching day, when the hearts will choke the throats. No intimate friend for the wrongdoers, nor intercessor who is obeyed. Chapter 40, verse 18. The hour is coming, there is no doubt thereof, but most men do not believe. Chapter 40, verse 59. God it is who sent down the law with truth and balance, and what can make thee know but that the hour may be nigh? Respond to your Lord before there comes a day. There is no repelling from God. You will have no refuge that day, and you will have no denial. Chapter 42, verses 17. Chapter 42, verse 47. Then leave thou them until they meet their day in which they will be thunderstruck, a day in which their planning will avail them nothing, and they will not be helped. Chapter 52, verses 45 and 46. The drawing near is at hand. Chapter 53, verse 57. The truth is, the hour is their appointment, and the hour is more calamitous and more bitter. Chapter 54, verse 46. Then, when the trumpet is blown with a single blast, and the earth and the mountains are lifted up and leveled with a single leveling, that day the inevitability will befall, and the sky will be rent asunder, for it that day is weak, and the angels will be upon its sides, and eight will bear the throne of thy Lord above them that day. That day will you be presented, no secret among you will be hidden. Chapter 69, verses 13 through 18. So leave thou them to jest and play until they meet their day which they are promised. The day they will come forth from the graves in haste, as though pushing towards an idol. Their eyes will be humble, disgrace covering them. That is the day they were promised. Chapter 70, verses 42 through 44. He asks, when is the day of resurrection? Then when the sight is dazzled, and the moon is darkened, and sun and moon are joined, that day man will say, whither is escape? Chapter 75, verses 6 to 10. You are but promised, it will befall. Chapter 77, verse 7. Lord of the heavens and the earth and what is between them, the Almighty, they possess not from him power of speech. The day the Spirit and the angels stand in ranks, they speak not, save he whom the Almighty grants leave, and he says what is right. That is the true day. So let him who wills take his Lord as a journey's end. We warn you of a near punishment, the day a man will look on what his hands have sent before him, and the one who spurns guidance while claiming virtue will say, would that I were dust. Chapter 78, verses 37 through 40. The day they see it, it will be as though they have not tarried save an evening, or a morning thereof. Chapter 79, verse 46. Then when the Sakha comes, the day a man flees from his brother, and his mother, and his father, and his wife, and his children. Chapter 80, verses 33 to 36. No, indeed, when the earth is leveled completely, and thy Lord comes with the angels, rank upon rank, and hell that day is brought, that day will man take heed. But how will the reminder be for him? He will say, would that I had sent before me for my life. And that day none will punish as his punishment, and none will bind as his binding. Chapter 89, verses 21 through 26. So I warn you of a raging fire, in which burns only the most miserable, who rejected and turned away. Chapter 92, verses 14 through 16. When the earth is in complete convulsion, and the earth brings forth its burdens, and man says, what ails it? That day will it recount its tales, because thy Lord will instruct it. Chapter 99, verses 1 through 5. What is the calamity, and what will convey to thee what the calamity is. The day mankind will be as moths dispersed, and the mountains will be as wool fluffed up. Chapter 101, verses 2 through 5. May God guide you to his straight path. Until the next video, peace be upon you.